Now, a day or two before that, they called me with a serious problem. Like one, it was worth what, $1 million in profit?
Yeah, well, it was actually about $250,000 in profit, but it was yeah, it was well over $1 million. Two contracts combined for well over $1 million that we had reached our bonding capacity, and bonds were required, and our bonding company wasn't going to accommodate us, so we thought we were going to lose those.
So you thought you might lose $250,000 in profit?
Yeah.
And then they got me on the phone.
Yep, got you on the phone, and in a series of conversations with us on conference call, and then with the contracting officer. Last I heard, when I was actually on my way up here, got a text from Pat that said, contracting officer said, "No, you're right, it's my fault, I didn't put that requirement in the contract, send me a letter, I'm sure we're going to be fine." So it looks like we
saved $250,000.
$250,000.
So if it's $10,000 a ticket to get in the workshop, you guys already have 25 times that in profit from just presenting that as a problem for your company.
Yeah.
And me giving you what the solution was.
Yep.
And it was a fairly easy solution. 2
phone calls before the workshop, before we'd even paid for our workshop.
So what do you think? You went through all 3 days?
Yeah.
Get all your questions answered?
I did. Came into it, when I looked at the website, and I had actually previously a few months ago when Mike pointed me in that direction, and coming in had a little bit of concern that it was more for the beginner contractor getting into federal contracting, and that maybe portions of it may be old news and not worth the time. But what I found was I started writing nugget next to things that were said that I'd either forgotten or had never heard of before, and I got a lot of gold nuggets in my book, so it's been well worth it.
How did you like the aspect of doing where other clients would call in during the workshop and we just work right through so you get to see us in action?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty neat, pretty unique.
Okay, so you can see why we're encouraging you to, whenever you have a situation or problem, even if we're in the middle of a workshop, we want to hear it.
Yeah.
Because we want to solve it live so you get to see it. How did you feel about that, Todd?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I thought it was a real unique experience. I couldn't really believe it was going on. It all just happened so quick, and here you are in the middle of it. I thought it had to be some kind of skit going on or something, but I went home and told my wife that night that, they took a live call with probably a room full of military people on the other end, and both jumped in and took control of the situation and resolved it to what it sounded like, to work towards an amicable resolve. So I was real impressed at that. I think a couple of times you put me on the phone when we were talking, just live with people, and it kind of caught me a little bit off guard, but I see kind of how the system interacts and how you all are getting so much done.
Yeah. Now, for the people like yourself that kind of struggle with, is this something that I should go through? I don't have a lot of government construction experience. What would you tell them?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you should get involved in the program. They lead you through the whole step of the way. The biggest thing for me is that they're there afterward. We try to get as much as we can covered and learned in 3 days, and take a bunch of notes. But absolutely, it's comforting to know that they're behind you. You can get a hold of them anytime. I don't know how that's exactly possible all the time, but you get a hold of them every time I've called. They're right there when you need them. So I think it's a great program.
And Eric, what would you tell somebody if you looked right in the camera and said, "Hey, guys wondering"?
Yeah, I would highly recommend coming to the workshop and taking advantage of the program in its entirety. Kind of funny too about being able to contact them at any time. And I went to dinner last night with the gang, and then got back to my hotel room, and I was checking emails and doing some things, and then it was probably 10:30 at night. I shoot an email out to Sean and Doug about something, and before I turned my computer off, I got a response back from both of them. So they really are available 24/7. No, I would highly recommend it. Yeah.